Hey, welcome to another episode of The Goalpost, and I'm joined by Sihle and Modise. Gents, what's happening?
What's good, man? What's good? What's good?
I don't know. Nothing much, my G. Hey, how's AFCON treating you? Yeah. So far, Modise.
Man, I'm sad. I called you and you told me about the Zim game, and then I went on Twitter. Yo, it seems I missed a game and a half there, and I saw a little bit of the game that was going on now with Morocco and Ghana. But yeah, I think I still need to get into it. At the moment, I'm a bit on the back foot, but I'm hoping our Southern African brothers can come back and do it for us, man.
Nah,
No,
Modise, I think
indeed.
you've spoken about this before. You said the Southern Hemisphere, when it comes to football, we never really perform for some odd reason. I've watched like what two games. I so far I'm not convinced. I'm trying to watch this the Ghana game. I think every time I see a Ghanaian scoring chance, I get even more angry as to what they did to us. But anyway, that's a story for another day.
No, that's true, dog. That's true. Like I also feel the same way, man. You know, and as well on my end, man, I also, think the games at the moment are the standard, man. It's as if these guys' standards drop when they play on the continent. Like Mane today, dog. Like I was like, huh? You miss chances like this now. But in the Premier
Whoa!
League, you
But
normally
if
score
we're
these
honest,
things.
nah, if you're
Ah,
honest, he misses them in the Premier League. The game in mind, the game that
ah,
comes to mind is the Chelsea game where he should have wrapped that one in it. He ballooned it.
no, but like, ish, dude, okay. Maybe that. But man he looked average. He didn't look like himself. He didn't look like someone who we used to seeing. But yeah, man, hey, even the discipline, guys, like for me, the discipline is also another thing that is a bit because even in the first game, bruh, I think it took like a minute for that guy. I
Yes,
forgot which
it was less than a
Cameroonian
minute.
guy.
There
It's
was a
less
red
than a
card.
minute. That was a
That was a
red
red
card,
card.
bro. Dude, I was
There
even
was a
shocked. I was like, yeah.
Nah, that was a red card. I don't know how the ref didn't give it as a red. But yeah, it seems like there's a thing now. If you want to commit a a red card offense, do it in the first minute of the game, and you'll get away with
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. I know, because that was a straight red. Yeah.
That was a straight red. I also saw that one. I looked and I said, something's not right then. If the officiating is starting like this, then
Hey,
you can get
with
away with whatever.
VAR,
That
chief.
anybody saw that tackle.
Umotip
Dude,
uyazama lutuskaki VAR, but yet we repay him like this.
I don't know. They were meant to use VAR. I'm sure the video assistant refs were like, okay, guys, it's still the first minute. Let's
Let's
cut
not.
let's cut off our communication with the ref so that when he tries reaching us, he can't get through to us because it's I don't
But
know, discipline.
I saw the red in the second game,
Yeah,
where VAR came in. The ref had
yeah,
given a yellow. I thought there was a red card offense. The game continued for like a couple of seconds. Actually, it was a free kick,
yeah.
and then the fourth official went and called the ref that, hey, you need to check this out on the screen. He checked it, came back, rescinded the yellow, and then gave the red, which I thought was brilliant. That's how it's supposed to be. Ref
Yeah,
had
no
missed a
doubt.
definite red card there. Yeah.
No
But
doubt,
where's
no
VAR
doubt.
in all of this? I mean, I haven't really watched a lot of full games, but I mean, I was told that for this AFCON VAR is going to be there throughout. So where's VAR in all of this? I mean,
Yeah, it's there.
how
It's
is
just
if you've got if you want to be
we
world
struggle
class
using
on a
it.
world stage where everybody's watching, as a referee, knowing that the 2022 World Cup is now in November, you shouldn't be making such mistakes, especially with VAR being there.
But
He's left.
if
He's
Escom,
left us. Yeah, I don't know.
Escom, Escom Motisa
Escom.
doesn't like you.
Yeah.
ESCOM doesn't like me. You can't hear me.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah,
we
yeah,
lost you there for a second.
you lost you for a second,
Oh no,
Your
no, I'm
screen
just
was.
saying, yeah, but where's VAR in all of this? Because we have the World
Yeah,
Cup coming up in Qatar.
if I corner, I think it's probably the first major tournament that we're going to be using it. So there's still, I'd say, teething. Let's call it that, teething problems. It's just, yeah. But
Yeah,
it's there. It gave
But
the
man, if
first
you're gonna
rain
be
yesterday.
officiate, if you want to officiate on a world stage at the World Cup, because I'm pretty sure that a lot of those referees are there to be trialing for some of them want to be seen if they've, especially if they've already been shortlisted for the World Cup. You understand? So I think it's
Yeah, and
vital and critical for them to be able. I mean, we are yet to see an African coach or an African referee, sorry, in a World Cup final, let's say. And that's where we need to get to, man. I mean, we've got the biggest continent in the world, we've got the most people in the world. We saw, and we're going to see how the Premier League is going to suffer with AFCON coming up, or with AFCON kind of currently running. So we've got to get Africa to be more recognized than what it is as things stand. And we've got to run with things properly and professionally.
I
real
think
talk.
the major issue is up top. We are always reminded that we are a developing country. At what point are we going to start looking at ourselves as more than a developing country? Because I think what when we use we're a developing country, it allows for corruption to be rife in our game, where
Yeah.
we sweep everything under the developing country rug, of which we shouldn't. We should be held accountable on the same standards as all the other continents that participate in the game of football.
Yeah.
The infrastructure is there, to be honest. Sure, fine, development we're lacking, but that is, yeah, oh, there's a goal that just went in. Morocco just scored. But
Wow.
to be honest, we sometimes let ourselves down, or our leaders let us down.
Yeah. No, big time, dog. Like I fully agree with each and everything you guys said. You guys have said a mouthful, eh? Like, it's just our leaders most importantly, because I mean they should set the example, and of course they're not
But
setting
they
it
don't
at
want to
all.
set the example. They want to chow. They want to
Yeah.
enjoy. They want to
It's a
enjoy the
business
chow that
thing,
they're
man,
getting.
It's
nothing
a
Yeah,
else.
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah,
model
I
suits
yeah,
think if you
them
remember
more than
build
anything.
up to the CAF presidency, sorry, when Motsepe won it, there was a show I listened to on Marawa where they were speaking about if you could see the number of private jets that were flying in and out of Casablanca, all these businessmen
yeah.
flying in. The FIFA president is there with Motsepe and this one and that one. And then all of a sudden people step down. It just shows you that that leadership is not about football anymore. It's about let's
It's never.
exchange the bag,
Yeah.
the
It's all
bag.
about the duffel bag, bro. You know, duffel bag, dog. And
Which is
that's
quite
what's
sad,
killing
though,
us.
to be honest.
Yeah. It really is, dog. It really is. I know it's really killing us big time, James. But I know, hopefully, as time progresses, things change. That's the only thing I can say. And of course, us voicing our opinion on this matter. It's something that we need to voice out, because I mean, we can't now, when we look at African football and you compare it with other continents, we are below par. Like that's not cool at all, man. Yeah. And then, guys, can we switch over to speak about European football? I just wanted to hear your opinions about what Jose Mourinho said about Roma. I'm not too sure if you guys saw, but Roma were leading 3-1 from the 51st minute, and it
Yeah.
took Juve 7 minutes to
To score
score
three
and
goals.
yeah, three unanswered goals. And of course, you know how Mourinho is, though. Mourinho doesn't play games. He doesn't hold anything back, bro. He lets it known to his players. Yeah,
I respect him for that. I respect him
yeah,
for calling it what it was, in that they were
yeah,
weak. They didn't have a winning mentality of wanting to finish off the opponent, and he's got every right to call this side weak. And I think that will do one of two things going forward. they will either make the dressing room hate him more, or they will look on what the manager is expecting of us, and we're failing in providing that. And I think now there's this thing going on in European football where the players are starting to be too powerful, and they can dictate terms, whether on hiring and the firing of coaches. Like if they don't like a coach, they sabotage the club, or sabotage the coach, in turn sabotaging the club, which I find very weird. But yeah, he's right. I'm fully behind him. If he sees that his players were weak, they didn't have a finishing off mentality, he's got every right to tell them, and they need to know.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt, no doubt. I'm not sure if you wanna add. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we all know that Mourinho, all the clubs he's technically managed, that he's lost the dressing room at some point.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you watch Roma now and Roma before, you can see that Mourinho's there, similar to Tottenham, similar to what we saw at United, Chelsea. You know, we can go all the way back into he's playing dominant football, but you know, again, that finishing mentality and that closing off the game. And Mourinho's a winner. He's a deadly winner. He wants to win at all costs, and he wants to bring in players, buy players, the best players, change the play. He's a tactician of note. He understands the game of football, but he's a very, very strict and hardcore manager. And, you know, based on this, chances are he'll lose another dressing room. And as you said, Sitle, with players being as powerful as they are, once they lose the dressing room, players don't play for the manager anymore. And in this day and time, it's very few players who play with passion. A lot of players play with how they feel about the manager, how they feel about the situation at the club, whether the club doesn't want to sell them, whether the club wants to retain them, or whatever. But yeah, as things stand, my feel is it's probably going to go downhill from here, unless the players take what he said with looking at the positive side. Then they'll come back and they'll bounce back and they'll start winning again. But yeah, Mourinho has a tendency of losing dressing rooms, and I'm getting worried.
Yeah, true.
And so X, and I felt when he got this job, I felt Roma was a perfect site for redemption. Because I think the past two clubs that he's managed, it kind of went downhill for him, and I felt this was a perfect project for him to go right ahead and resurrect Roma, and in turn resurrect his reputation across Europe. But you're right. We'll wait and see. We'll wait and see how the players react to the criticism. And if they were honest with themselves, they would be like, well, we've got to win off a manager. Let's focus on the positives from the game and work towards what the manager wants.
Yeah, no, that's true. That really is true, dog. But you know, when you look at there's a few players that Mourinho managed, who of course, like in the past, managed and of course ended up not having a dope relationship with him. In Mkhitaryan, remember Mkhitaryan when United signed him?
Mkhitaryan, I think I've always thought Mkhitaryan was soft. And the unfortunate thing is that EPL doesn't really do well with soft players. When I say soft, he couldn't stand up and be counted, if that makes sense.
Yeah. It didn't stand out very, you know.
And Mkhitaryan, I like Mkhitaryan, man. I like him.
For me, the Mkhitaryan from Dortmund is different to the one from Man United
and Arsenal. True. Yeah, when the minute he went to Arsenal, that's when I knew his career was over.
You just say, we see what you did there, dog.
Man, we still signed Sanchez from Arsenal, and we paid him a hefty salary, thinking that his career is going to rise, but it just didn't.
Oh, just died out.
With Sanchez, I always feel terrible in that he should have left Arsenal, I think, a season or 2 seasons prior to him leaving.
Yeah.
So
that's true. Yeah, that's true. That's true. He stayed a bit too long, at the club.
Yep, he
Yeah.
did
I
what
man, some
Arsene
players
Wenger
are not
did.
just never supposed to leave certain teams. For me, Sanchez should have never left Arsenal. The same way Coutinho should have never left Liverpool, man. I mean,
Yeah.
Coutinho. If think about a player of Coutinho's caliber. Had Coutinho stayed at a Liverpool, he probably would have been the shining star above even Sadio Mane. I mean, Salah, as things stand, because
Yeah.
of where Coutinho was at the time that he left at Liverpool, and Jurgen Klopp warned him. Now he's gonna be donning an Aston Villa T-shirt. Yes.
Yeah, that's the next discussion that I wanted us to talk about.
There's nothing
Like
wrong
the
with Villa.
acquisitions. Yeah, like the acquisitions of Coutinho and Luca Digne. Like Aston Villa just signed both players, which is
So
insane, especially from
yeah,
Luca Digne, because I rate Luca Digne.
yeah.
Yeah,
So let's talk on Coutinho because the Lukaku
yeah,
hasn't been finalized yet. I see two
yeah,
players benefiting from a player like Coutinho. Oli Watkinson, he's going to literally shine. Ings is old school and understands Coutinho's passing. I think he's also going to shine.
yeah.
And Coutinho, I don't know what he's doing at Aston Villa, to be honest. Is it a loan
Yeah.
deal? Are they buying him outright? Because I rate that
Yeah.
player.
No.
I rate
He
him
had a
sitting at Aston Villa.
yeah, he had a fallout with Rafa Benitez.
But
So that
Urafa could be going any day now.
yeah, he's quoted to that man. He is quoted to leaving. He's just hanging on for dear life. By Everton, they are so inconsistent. But of course, I mean, back to Aston Villa, bruh. Like, what about Upwendia? Number 10, the Argentinian guy. Like, what
Um,
happens to him? Because they
what
play a
happens to his
similar
number?
role.
Nah, but
No,
I think yeah,
no, to
nah,
him.
he'll keep his number. I think Coutinho is just coming in as a 6 month loan. I think he's gonna keep his number. And I think what it goes back to what I was saying. It's all in the player's mind how they view if a star player comes in or a star manager comes in. They can do one of two things. They can crumble under pressure, where they second guess themselves, or they can excel in learning in practice with this player. That this is how you do it. This is how you do it, and in turn they up their game. That's just
Ah,
my
no, man. But no, I disagree. I think if you're a regular, it messes up your confidence, especially if you're playing the same role as Coutinho. Surely Coutinho is being bought to play or loaned to play. You can't bring in a player of Coutinho's caliber. You can't bring in a player of Coutinho's caliber just to come and
on
sit
the
on the
bench.
bench or put pressure on the next player. Coutinho's there to play. Coutinho and Stevie G talk. I mean, they played together. He's there to
Yeah.
revive his career. He's there to make Stevie G look good as well. But he's going to kill the confidence of that guy. As much as he's a number 10 and whatnot, but if you're playing for an Aston Villa, you're playing for an Aston Villa in order for you to get a bigger contract at a bigger club like Manchester United, as big as we are. But again, if a Coutinho comes in, they're gonna bench you, my man. They're gonna bench you. What does that do to your career? We're lighting up Coutinho so that a United can go for a Coutinho. Stevie G can look good and be the next Liverpool manager. That's it.
Yeah, no
Yeah,
doubt,
one of
no doubt.
yeah, no, I'd agree with you on the Liverpool part. But yeah, question for you, gents: the
Yeah.
pulling power of Stevie G, to attracting these players to Villa. Uh, is it there or is it just players wanting to go there?
Man, if I was a player, if I was a baller, if Stevie G called out, go running, man. Stevie G's a legend, man. And he's building his profile so well. Look what he did to Rangers. They were playing brilliant football, my man. Zungu blundered there. Zungu could have been moving to Aston Villa now. You understand? And that's exactly what I'm saying. Stevie G is a world legend, my man. He's a baller of note. His passion for the game is out of this world. You can see it. You could see it when he was playing, and you can see it now with him as a manager. And everybody wants to play for Stevie G. Everyone wants to play for Stevie G. But at the same time, Stevie G is looking at Klopp's job.
Yeah.
So
No,
he
yeah.
wants to bring in the
2 years.
best so he can be seen as the best, so that when Klopp leaves, it goes without saying that, hey, Stevie G, come on.
Yeah. And that thing is as well, I also like how he of entered the managerial world. He didn't go to a big team. He started off with a team that had zero expectations and finished the season unbeaten. You know,
Yeah.
um, you see what I'm saying? So from there, of course, people are watching from other teams, and then him going to Aston Villa. I won't lie to you. I never thought that he'd get it right this soon. For me, I thought maybe it would have taken time, but he got it right instantly. Like Villa are hard to beat, bruh. Even Man City won 1-0, I think, against Villa. No, 2-1. And Villa
2-1.
they had a chance to equalize, bro. Like Villa was still going for that. But in prior seasons, Villa wasn't a team that goes for gold, especially against these big teams. But now all of a sudden, you know, Villa are actually
What
going for it,
what
bruh.
what would be a successful season for Stevie G right now? Like come end of the season.
Uh,
It's hard
Conference
to
League,
say.
I'd say
It's
Conference
hard to
League.
say. I think his mandate at the moment was probably just to avoid relegation, because they weren't
Yeah,
playing that well under Dean Smith.
yeah,
So I think at the moment they're just looking to finish as high as possible. They're definitely not looking at Europa. I don't believe. You can't say like in South Africa top eight or whatever, but potentially top half of the table without a doubt, maybe
yeah,
9, 10. But I think his mandate, as things stand, is to avoid relegation. Maybe next season they might say to him, look, ideally, you've got to finish what, number 9, number 10, but if you can make Europa, that would be fantastic. And they'll give him the budget to go loan all the rejects who can come and sort the team out. Don't be surprised if he signs Abu Origi, Abu Martial, but at the same time, Stevie G again is looking at the next job, and I'll keep saying that because I can assure you he's not at Aston Villa to stay for long.
yeah,
Nah, but
yeah.
and then Aston Villa benefit from it in that they move up. From my view, top 8 is going to be very hard this season. It because it's if I look from Arsenal all the way down, the
Yeah.
point difference between those teams, it's very hard to get out of there. So I think next season probably they're going to be pushing for a Europa finish, and I think if it does finish in Europe next season, the Liverpool job goes club vacates it. He'll be he'll be the man. I think no Liverpool fan would argue with that. They'll say, yeah, bring the guy on.
Yeah. Yeah,
They probably
because
want him now already, but the big
I
Klopp is
don't
there,
think
and you
so.
can't get rid of Klopp.
Klopp being you, Klopp. Yo, I wanted Klopp so badly, bro. When he was
It's
available,
it's
I was like,
But
yo,
it's
you
quite
get
easy.
this guy.
no,
Yeah.
but I've always felt like Klopp was gonna be perfect for Liverpool. I've never seen him, even when he was at Dortmund, when after he left Dortmund, and before he signed for Liverpool. I've always seen as that guy is just the perfect guy for that type of environment. United is a lot of pressure, my man. There's too many people and too many hands involved. And if you see how Klopp managed like a Dortmund, sort of independently, I want to say,
Yeah.
free, with an open heart. I mean, he transformed Liverpool out of nothing, freely, with no pressure, no rush to finish top of the log, no rush to win the Champions League. But he's done all that all of a sudden after so many years. And that's why I felt like Klopp is only perfect for that type of environment. I don't see Klopp at a Madrid, at a Barcelona, at a City. I don't see him there. It's too much pressure for such a calm guy, if I should call it that. The manager who takes that calm approach, who needs time. I mean, for us at United, the only manager we ever gave time was your favorite
Voice.
ex Ole.
Aye, man.
We
That
gave
nigga's
Ole
not
a
my
lot of
favorite,
time.
man.
But
Aye.
look now, Ralph is already under pressure, man. He's already under
Yeah.
immense pressure.
Yeah, no, that's true.
But
That's true. That's true.
X, I think we were speaking earlier on about United's problems. I think you highlighted two things.
Mm.
One, you said already 17 players, reported players, allegedly, are not happy.
Yeah.
And then two, the your wage bill.
Eesh.
But then I then asked the questions. Okay, so then what do you do? Do you get rid of the 17 players which are eating on your wage bill, who are unhappy because the manager is trying to instill either discipline or his way of playing? And then I think the argument went on. And then I asked myself, what attracts players to Man United besides the huge salaries?
History. I'd say the
History
brand,
does.
bro. The
Nah, fuck
brand is still a
no.
strong brand,
Nah,
bro.
guys.
It's still a
No, no
strong
player is gonna.
brand.
Nah, no player is
It's
gonna
still
say
a
I'm gonna go play for the brand. They want the money that's associated with that brand. That's
Nah,
it.
fam.
nah, simply dog. We
Nah,
still have
fam.
a
Okay, how do
pool.
you okay,
Nah,
tell me
fam.
this.
United,
How
even
do you
if
fix Man
United is
United's
down and
problems right
under, my
now?
brother, United will always be United. It's just the same way Liverpool, when they were seventh, they were still
Yeah.
Liverpool. You were never walking
They're still
alone.
signing Abu Suarez. Yeah.
Exactly. And they were signing because it's Liverpool. They weren't signing because it's nah. They're playing for the badge,
So do you
man. You
think
can't just get
do you
into
think Man
United.
United
You
as
know
is
that.
right now, you still have attracting powers, the best in the world right now?
One of the best in the world. Yeah.
No, I'm saying let's
Not
choose
the
one
best
player.
in the world.
Let's choose Haaland right now, as is. If he looks
Yeah.
at Man United, do you think he's gonna sign for Man United?
Yeah.
Who?
Haaland.
Yeah.
Haaland.
He
Yeah.
will. Ralph knows
Yeah.
Haaland.
You,
Ralph knows Haaland.
I don't see that. I don't
So
see that
does
Yeah.
happening.
Ole.
Yeah. About Ole,
I
Nana.
don't
Let's
see it.
not talk about Ole. But
No,
Ralph
but what
also
I'm
has
saying
a
is it's
pool.
that connection. It's the connection.
Yeah. Yeah. But Ralph has a because Ralph signed Haaland from what again?
Mulder.
From Mulder to Salzburg. Yeah, when you're still managing Salzburg. So
You know
he's
how I
familiar
see
with
Man
the kid.
United right now? If
Yeah.
a player moves to Man United, it's a huge risk, and it could lead to career suicide with everything that's going on there.
Nah,
Because right
fam.
now,
I respect United, my brother. Hey.
Yeah,
I
go,
I
Sitley.
I struggle when 17 professionals who are contracted to a club are now fighting a manager who's what 2 months into a job. Is it 2 or 3 months? And
Yeah,
then they're saying the dressing room is unhappy. Like, you haven't even given the guy a chance. 2 months in,
exactly.
and
But
you're
guys,
telling me that you're unhappy.
now I
Yeah.
have a question about this dressing room and happiness things. Who tells these journalists that these guys are unhappy?
The
Yeah.
players. There's
But
always
why?
snitch
Why are they
players.
unhappy? Yeah, I mean, if you can't just say we are unhappy. There's 17
Yeah.
or 7 players that want to leave. We're unhappy. How long has Paul Pogba been unhappy at United?
Yeah,
But he's
Now
man.
Pogba
there.
have I. I
Yeah,
think
bye,
Pogba have
bro.
I. That's a
Pogba
definite.
has
I think
Everybody
to.
he'll
knows that.
sign. I think he'll sign.
Yo,
The,
Moody's a
the
half a
problem
bar, bro.
the problem with the team that he's going to is he's coming in with a lot of baggage that is a Man United baggage. The club is going to perceive as. I honestly think we have I, and PSG is set right for him right now.
Yeah, they are because they are in need of a player of his ability. Yeah, they have. Yeah, they have. They need a really solid midfielder because right now when you look at Verratti, okay, Verratti is the number 6. He's not necessarily a playmaker like Paul Pogba is. You know, Paul Pogba, yeah, shy pass. That's one thing that you cannot deny, bro. When
I
you
think we
see
have
him
I.
with yeah. So yeah, and I also think
But
it's bouncing, bro. But
now
personally,
in
dog.
him,
Oh, sorry.
go
I
for
was
it.
gonna
No,
say,
go for it.
personally, bruv, as a United fan, we do need an overhaul, bruh. We do need to get rid of some players, bruh, and move forward in a new direction, dog. Because at the end of the day, we've been recruiting players who play different styles of football. We haven't like recruits a player that actually suits a philosophy per se. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's part of the reasons why we waste so much money in signing names instead of being able to unravel gems, like be like, oh, we signed this guy from Salzburg, and all of a sudden this guy suits our system and he's hitting the ground running. It's like look at Klopp with Liverpool. There was an overhaul over the years, and I think it took Klopp like close to, is it four, in his fourth
It's
season?
about
That's when it,
it's about three and a half, 3 seasons in where he
yeah,
literally cleared out all the, I wouldn't say
yeah,
messy players, but yeah, and then the players that suited his style of play. But I think
yeah,
Man
bro.
United, recruitment yakona. I don't know whoever is in charge of a recruitment. One, Cristiano coming in, that blindsided what's his name? Ole.
Ole.
And there was a vanity signing of which I can't help but like understand Guti. It was the coming home of Cristiano Ronaldo, and no team is gonna say no to that. Sancho, I don't know whether Sancho coming into United was too early for in his career, but the Sancho that is the Sancho now versus the Sancho that we know in Bundesliga are two. It's chalk and cheese.
Yeah.
It's debatable, man. I think we are yet to see the best. Maybe he's not at the level that he was definitely when he was at Dortmund. Change in style of play, or whatever the case is. But Sancho for me is Sancho, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
he'll come up. We'll see the best of Sancho still.
Yeah.
Let's. For me, I believe in the boy. Maybe I don't know.
Same, yeah. Like Modisa echo your sentiment, bro. Usancho is a baller naturally, bro. I feel like as time progresses, he will grow and become a great player at Man United. It's just the way he plays a give and go type. He's a give and go type playmaker, you know what I mean? And then Ngapa is playing next to Scott McTominay or even a Fred who has a terrible first touch, you can't control the ball and give it back, Because when you look at his goals, especially at how he played for Dortmund, he was surrounded by guys who like playing a give and go. Man United, our midfield, we struggle with ball retention. I was even telling you, Sihle. Like we can't even
And
string five passes.
you're sitting with Udoni, who is, I think, the answer to everything. But for some odd reason, it looks like the managers either one don't trust him or two don't like him as a player.
Or maybe he's not giving what he needs to at training, Chief.
No. Guys, I think Ralph's strategy is he's giving the rope to certain players to hang themselves first before he actually starts benching them. That's how I feel.
Who?
Like when you look at Rashford,
like
look at Rashford.
But if you don't rate Rashford,
are you guys here? Are you guys there?
Yeah, but
I don't. So, the thing, I don't rate him as highly as most Man United fans rate him. He's not a Kylian Mbappe,
I think,
bro. He's not there.
I think the one thing I don't like about your manager, maybe it was the once off, is he doesn't seem to trust the young guys in the squad. He's more of the experienced players. I can't remember which game you guys were playing, where he had an option between three players. He wanted to substitute and change the game. It was Cristiano, Cavani, and Mason. And post interview, he took out Mason. And then post interview, he's like, well, and Mason was having a brilliant game. He was creating chances. And after the match, he's like, well, I couldn't take out Ronaldo and I couldn't take out Cavani. So I had to take out Mason. And I'm like, no, my guy, like, why are you saying it like that you couldn't take out a certain player? And Mason Greenwood at the time, he was shining brighter than Cristiano, shining brighter than Cavani. But yet still, they sacrificed him.
And that's why when we were looking for a manager, I said we need a Zidane. A man who can control the dressing room, where Ronaldo's not bigger than Zidane. Yes, Ronaldo's massive. He's big. He's very big. but Zidane can show him that I'm as big. Everybody knows
Yeah.
me as much as everybody knows you. You understand? And Zidane could have been able to manage Ronaldo. If he's not getting the best out of Ronaldo, he can easily substitute him. Ole substituted Ronaldo in the one game. The first game he substituted him, I remember, I think it was against Young Boys when we lost the game. And he got bashed. And ever since
I
Ole
recall
did that, nobody has ever substituted Ronaldo again. No one. He came off the
And
bench
if
for
you're
Carrick.
honest,
He came off the bench for Carrick, and that was it. But they've never substituted Ronaldo since, or maybe in the last second or whatever, because they have this thing, Ronaldo can score at any minute, and I believe it. I'm a big CR7 fan, Chief. Don't tell me about Lionel Messi. I know he's good, but Ronaldo's better to me. Ne? To me. I'm not speaking about other people. To me. And you know, again, I'll probably, if I was the manager, again, I'll probably play Ronaldo game in, game out. But in order to show Ronaldo that you're the manager, take him out, bench him, show him that he's got to perform. He can't just walk into the team. Why did we give Ronaldo the armband, guys? Ronaldo's a Portugal captain, not a United captain. He's not a club captain.
And ever since he got the armband, it's very heavy. It's very, very heavy on him. He hasn't been performing as you would expect him to perform. And I think your manager loves Cavani in that he is his experience. But in him loving the experienced players, what happens to the up and coming stars? Because I honestly rate Mason. He's one Man United fan. Sorry, my Man United player, who I got excited when I heard there were discipline issues. I was hoping you guys would kick him out, and then we can come in and then go for it.
He won't come to you guys. He's staying at United.
That boy knows where the goalpost is, and literally
he's got a brain.
Thank you.
The same you see Rashford. You see Rashford. He has no brain. Rashford just is pace and power, Chief. He's just.
But Rashford used to play well, man.
Well, what you are right. He used to play well. You know why?
For us, my friend.
No, bro. Like for me, the best Rashford is the LVG Rashford. LVG was coaching him, and you could see Rashford used to score important goals, bruh. Winner against City. His first game, he chowed Arsenal, bruh. You know,
where was he playing? Where was he playing?
He was playing as a striker then. But like LVG is a very good coach. Even when Rooney in one interview, he said, like, as far as coaching is concerned, LVG is better than Sir Alex Ferguson from a coaching standpoint. You know what I mean? Putting cones down and, you know, making guys understand Wagwan, you know. It's just a pity we didn't back him the way we were meant to back him. But yeah,
what's going on with Aaron though, if you don't mind me asking?
Who?
Wan-Bissaka.
Maurice's player, dog. Maurice, you can talk, bruh. You know how I feel about Aaron, dog. Simply, you know.
Man, Wan-Bissaka, man. I don't know what's going on, man.
I'm asking myself.
I defend the guy. It's like Luke Shaw, man. You know, I used to love Luke Shaw, even when he was at Southampton. No, I don't know what's happening there, bro. No, it hurts me. It hurts me. Wan-Bissaka for me is one of my favorite defenders, but I think I'd rather play Dalot. Eh?
There's a Wan-Bissaka that against Chelsea. He was marking Hazard. Literally had Hazard in his pocket throughout the whole game. And I was celebrating. I was like, even though I think we lost that game. I was like, probably man of the match is Wan-Bissaka. But ever since then, his stock price is just.
Wan-Bissaka can't play soccer. He doesn't have the fundamentals, bro. That's the problem. He doesn't have the fundamentals.
But he can't play soccer.
He can't. It's because he doesn't have the fundamentals. What are the fundamentals? Pass.
He can trap the ball. Yeah.
Control the ball.
Romelu Lukaku. Well, if you want to say Wan-Bissaka,
no.
Speak about
Romelu. He's improved. He's improved. Now he's improved.
Remember X Sorry.
Yeah.
Remember when Chelsea signed Lukaku and I said, I don't care, he can go there. And I said, the boy cannot trap the ball. They realized that very quickly that Rob can't trap the ball. He can't move. He can't do anything. He's got a powerful shot. That I'll give it to him. Right?
He can
Where
finish,
has he
though.
net?
He can
But
finish.
Romelu Lukaku, if you say Wan Bissaka doesn't know soccer, then we must speak about Big Rom.
Ish, man. But you know, that's not my ideal. Rom is not my ideal striker. I like strikers that can actually control and link up, you know, like about Benzema. That's the sort of strikers I like. You know,
Yeah.
pace for me is overrated, dog. Pace,
Yeah.
you know,
And
if you look-
strength.
yeah, you see, like, hey, for me, like that's what I like,
So
dog.
I was on a space the other day on Twitter, and they were discussing Kaiser Chiefs, and I know I'm going off a bit, and
Yeah,
they were talking
yeah, it's
about
okay.
Unokovic, and I said to the gentleman there, I said, me, I hate Unokovic. I don't rate him. I've never rated him because Unokovic cannot trap the ball. He cannot beat a man. They asked the question. They said, is the job of a striker to score or to beat a player? I said, at least if a defender's coming at you one-on-one, you must be able to tap, beat him, shoot. You don't have to beat 5 players. You don't have to beat 3 players like Benzema. That's special qualities. But if you
Yeah.
can turn and shoot, then you're all right. Romelu Lukaku, Nokovic, same WhatsApp group. I don't rate
Hey,
them,
leave
and I
Big
don't
Rom,
want them
leave
anywhere
Big
near
Rom
my
alone.
team.
I've got big dreams for that boy. He's going far. He's going far.
He's going where?
Yeah.
Where? I don't know how Cavani likes that guy. I don't know why he should be playing for West Brom still. That guy.
Belgium's all-time
Honestly,
top
when
goal
you
scorer.
signed him, when you signed
Yeah?
him, I anticipated him to be to give us plus minus 20 goals, and yeah, it's his first next season.
Wishful thinking, Sihle. There, I'm sorry.
Sitle. Rome will only
No.
score in Italy because that football is rugby and he's strong. He cannot play in EPL, Chief. EPL, they don't care how big you are. The ball moves, you run. You move, you run. You beat a man, you pass the ball. That's why I like the player like Aaron Ramsey. Aaron Ramsey, when he was at Arsenal, boss, he was killer. You understand? Because Aaron Ramsey is not a rugby player. He's a soccer player. The ball must be rolling on the floor. Chief, I don't know when Romelu was playing for United, when we playing Southampton. They passed him the ball went the other.
I know.
That's why they used to call him Mr. 501. Like he's playing like he's wearing 501 jeans and Timberlands.
Hi, Big Rob.
But yeah, speaking on Ramsey, the word is that he might be signing for Newcastle.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Ramsey, I don't rate Ramsey.
What you reckon it's over for him?
Come on, X.
I don't rate Ramsey.
Yeah.
I think he's okay. Aaron Ramsey's not young, dog.
Okay,
he's in his
not
30s
young
now.
But he's a baller.
It's okay, Aaron Ramsey.
Listen to you, Chief. Mr. Juventus, what's happening?
No, dog, for real. It's okay, Ramsey. Because he's on a lot of money now. I think he's on 400. Because I think there's no transfer fee.
Yeah, he's one of those top earners.
Yeah, which is insane. Yeah, which is insane.
But Newcastle, the Magpies can afford him. The problem comes in with any player that's going into Newcastle is the prospect of if the project fails. When I say fails, as in they get relegated this season. And that are you ready for the championship? So that's you
that
have
has
to
been
you
my
have to think
question
about it
from the beginning.
Yeah, and I think it's a bit. I mean, if they're gonna maintain his 400k a month, 400k a week salary, I think Juve can loan him out for the next coming 6 months. Let's see what happens.
Yeah,
but the investors for Newcastle took a stupid risk, in my opinion. I think they should have waited. I know they tried to get this deal done last season and it didn't work out, but they shouldn't have let the season run up to where it is now, because Newcastle is at the bottom of the log, Chief, as things stand. And even if you're buying a Trippier is not going to change the game of play. I don't rate Eddie Howe as a manager. I would have rather brought in even a Frank Lampard. But I don't see. I think they at a big risk of relegation as things stand. I mean, the league ends now. Now these years are moving. These days are going very fast, my man. So even if they bring in an Aaron Ramsey, it's going to take more than just Aaron Ramsey to revive them. And at whose expense are they going to drop?
Yeah, no, that's true, bruh. That's true. Like I agree with you fully, bruh.
I've
It's
got
gonna
hope for
take.
them.
You have hope.
It's yeah, I've got hope for them. It's looking very yeah, it's not looking good, but I've got hope for them. I'm hoping they can string like probably what 5-6 wins,
Yeah,
and pull whoever is close to them,
yeah,
and let it be the great escape. And then come next season, they can start recruiting players that they want, and not players
yeah.
that they're
Eddie
forced
Howe
to get.
relegated Bournemouth.
You reckon he's gonna relegate? He's gonna relegate the Magpies.
Wow,
Yeah.
that would be incredible. Yo, that would be
And
insane.
their striker is out for 2 months.
Oh, Wilson.
Wilson, yeah.
Yes.
Yo, and that guy, they really need that guy, bro. Because whenever Wilson is fully fit, they normally get a result, you know. And
I
so
think
if
they right now
uh,
they're going to be a one-man team.
Hussein
Who's
Maxima,
that? Who's that French? Yeah. And I'm disappointed in the kid that they bought from Arsenal, who last season while on loan was on fire, and right now he's just over the show. I don't know what's going on with him, but yeah, it's that Arsenal curse, I guess.
yeah, Ocho Willock, yeah, he's looking very average now, you know. But he was
Nah,
Last
okay
below
season he was
average.
okay.
below. Sorry?
Last season he was
Yeah,
also okay.
Yeah, yeah,
but anyway, speaking of
yeah.
Arsenal, my favorite team, they got knocked
Mm.
out of
The
the
FA
cup,
Cup.
the FA Cup,
Jeez.
and they wanna be
Nottingham.
mum about it. And yeah, I'm like,
Oh,
When last did they
I
beat
think the
oh.
Nottingham Forest, Chief?
Hey, man. And you know, Nottingham Forest has two Champions Leagues. Two.
Yes.
And
Nottingham Forest wanted to sign Piwa Shabalala and Kune at some point.
yeah, yeah.
When they were still okay, when they were trying to get back into the Premier League. Now, and Arsenal lost to them. It's like,
One.
oh, I know.
Roy Keane last night went and said Arsenal look like Real Madrid, but they playing like a pub team. I was like, that's the best, because I was watching that game. I was like, what's going? Don't the players understand what Arteta wants them to do? Or is it Arteta himself, as in he is way over his head in this position? Because to be honest, Arsenal is a big team, guys,
It is.
and they took an intern coach.
Mm, mm. All my opinion on that, is Arteta really as good as we think he is, or
No,
as they praised him to be? Because as
no.
much as he won a lot as the assistant manager at Man City,
Yeah.
it doesn't mean his input was valuable. And I
Yeah, I
think
mean he's
only because he was working with Pep, everybody thought he would come in and he would be able to do what Pep is doing at Man City. But for me, as I've seen from the beginning right to now, the inconsistency. Yes, here and there they play beautiful football every now and again, but yeah, I don't think Arteta's. I mean, you can't tell me that players can't articulate what you want them to do every game. By now, he's been there how long now? By now, the players know what he wants. They know his philosophy. They Klopp, I don't think he needs to say anything to the players in the dressing room. He says, "Go out there, play like this. Formation 1, go. Formation 2,
I,
go."
I, I honestly I don't rate Arteta. I think he he needed to be in a mid-table side and not an Arsenal that was looking forward to getting back getting back to their glory days. And
Mm.
I think also the cup that they won. I think they beat Chelsea. Was it Chelsea or Man City? One of the two. It fooled the fans into thinking they've got something going on. And a cup is in as much as it's a trophy, it's honestly, yeah, it's just a cup end of the day. I don't see them moving forward. And I think he sometimes gets personal with the players, and I struggle with that. Whether he's trying to be stern, of which as a manager I'd understand him being stern, but sometimes players respect a manager more if a manager has a history, if I can put it that way.
Exactly. And that's why I want him to disclose what Aubameyang did to him. I want to know what Aubameyang did personally. And I know that maybe Aubameyang has discipline issues, but it could potentially be that Aubameyang challenged him. He challenged his decision making. He questioned
I suspect
it,
that.
and that pissed him off. And for me, when you're a young manager like that at that level, when you're about to go down, the first people that are going to come to you is the senior players. And Aubameyang as the captain was the Arsenal captain. Yeah. So he had to step up. He had to stand up for the team and say, look, man, not like this, not like that. You understand? Whether he's late for training or whatever the case is. And I'm not saying it's right to be late for training. I mean, discipline is the key to everything. But Aubameyang, as a senior player, as the leader of the pack, as the team leader, he had to stand up to him. I'm pretty certain that's where it comes from. Because why is he not disclosing what Aubameyang did?
Because where we are right now, it's one of those where you ask yourself, does the course of action that the club has taken, or the stance that the club has taken, does it suit the crime? Of which, okay, he was late for training, fine him 2 weeks' wages, and that's that. Because right now, it doesn't look like he's ever going to play for Arsenal ever again.
Yeah.
That's fine. We can take him. What do you think?
No. Nah.
Yeah, I think X got irritated by his son. He pulled when he went past Dubai to party up a storm, and then ended up in Africa, tested positive for COVID.
Aubameyang, man, and his country is playing soon at 9, But that's one of the games where, hey, man, Comoros. Oh my God, bro. I've never. This will be my first time seeing them play because I don't even know who they are.
And Capuan's gonna walk over.
Comoros qualified.
That's how bad we are, dog. That's how bad.
You being personal now, Moody's.
That's how bad we are.
Man. It's like I hope they sit down as staff and say Comoros is playing. Comoros is that AFCON.
Who's that?
Yeah, but anyway, gents, let's call it an episode. We went way over time, but we always do this when there's the three of us. We just can't help it, man. But thank you so much for availing yourself, guys. It's really, how this is like my therapy. Thank you so much. And yeah, man, I hope AFCON starts accelerating. We start seeing screamers. We start seeing, quality football, because right now it's a snooze fest. But anyway, gents. Yeah.
Wait, X, before you go, we need to speak about the Proteas when you're ready.
Okay.
I cannot wait I need to join that conversation.
Yeah, I know. We need to.
Serious. After this, the next test match that starts tomorrow, we can chat.
Yeah, we'll chat. Definitely. I know, guys. Take care, ne? Peace out.
Thank you, gents. Have a good one. Peace out.